Looking to achieve a healthier lifestyle but have little time? The Terrebonne General Executive Health Program can improve your overall health for a lifetime in one visit. With little to no waiting, you get a whole year of wellness in one convenient location. Our preventative screenings increase your well-being by providing early detection against illness. With exceptional VIP service, you leave with a plan in hand to achieve a healthier lifestyle tailored for you. Call the Terrebonne General Executive Health Team at 985-850-6204 today.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
It is my pleasure to be joined by Mike Barber, head coach of South Terrebonne High School's baseball program, a program that has been doing so well over the last few years. You got kids who are playing on the next level. You're 3 years removed from a state championship. A lot of people talk about the ebbs and flows, especially when you sort of get a cycle in and such. You've been able to sort of maintain it for the most part. How do you feel about this group, to be just blunt, the January going into February group?
Yeah, I feel good. Year in and year out, I think the standard remains the same in what you're chasing. So you're always holding that, whether the kids come in, are able to achieve that standard. It's the goal is to give yourself a chance to achieve that standard. And these group of kids right here that we have reminds me a lot of the 2021 year, where in 2020 with COVID, we lost a lot of seniors. And the next year, we really didn't know who the leadoff guy was, who the four-hole was going to be, and all those things throughout the field. And this year's kind of the same way. It's just a bunch of scrappy players that are going to show up and have been playing the game the right way, which is all I can ask them to do.
So just recently, and I'd ask if you agree with this or say it's totally wrong and it can't happen that way. A fellow who played at South Terrebonne years ago asked me who's the top 4 pitchers that ever pitched at South Terrebonne, which I didn't know. And they kind of started asking each other. Not one of the names came from like the 2020s, right, when you win a state championship. And the guy in the Houston area said, how can that be that maybe those guys, and I think when we talked to Chandler a little bit about South Lafourche and stuff, sometimes you look at it and it's that intangible. What's intangible in baseball that sort of gets it over the top?
Man, when you talk about that year and the crew that led up to that year, you talk about the same thing with 2020, 2021. And even the past couple of years, I know we haven't necessarily made the playoff runs that we would have liked to, but we were still up there where we wanted to be when the season ended. And when you talk about players like that with the Christian Arsenaults, the Bryce Lejani's, the Jackson Martins, it was just their toughness, their leadership, their willingness to not fail. And that's something that it's hard to find in players. I tell Ashley this all the time. She coaches at Thibodeau High, that special players make special teams that have special years. And, sometimes there's not all special players, because it's hard to do those things. It's hard to be as consistent as you can possibly be.
So I'm not talking about state championship or anything, but do you see a little bit with this team?
I do. I related this team a lot to a lot of people that I talked to the 2021 year, which we made Sulphur. In a year where we looked at each other as coaching staffs going, we don't know who our starters are. We don't know who our leadoffs at. It's a different lineup every time. And those kids just put themselves in a position to succeed, and the ball bounced our way. And this year's a lot of the same way. We got great kids from seniors to freshmen, and we're just hoping the ball bounces our way because these guys are doing the little things that they're supposed to do.
Talk about your position grouping that you feel is maybe strong or strength of your team, whether it be the infield, the pitching staff, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I got to be careful what I say. I got a lot of opponents in the room over here. No, our infield's coming back, so there's going to be pretty much all seniors on the infield. So we're hoping that that's going to be a strength for us, and something can be a strength for you but not be consistent. We want that to be consistent strength. And we're returning a lot of innings on the mound, so hopefully we can carry ourselves with pitching and defense, and then while we're trying to figure out this lineup.
Very good. If you have one worry about being successful, I don't know if you're goal orientated or not. That doesn't matter too much with this question, except that to achieve that goal, you worry about this one thing. What might that be?
Letting the simple things get boring. It's so simple to have good footwork on a ground ball and to check all the boxes at the plate and to make sure you got good fundamentals and technique throughout the whole field. But to do that consistently is very, very hard to do. You know, how hard is it to wake up every morning and make your bed? It's easy, but it's hard to do it consistently. And I think that's a worry for a lot of coaches is can their team do the simple things consistently and not let it get boring when you're working on it every day.
Very good. I didn't ask you this from the beginning, but would you describe your team as being veteran or experienced? Do you have a word for that?
I think would be a good mix. We have a lot of seniors that played last year, but you know, like the outfield is going to be fairly young, you know, inexperienced when it comes to the varsity side of things, and the pitching is going to be a mix. You know, we're gonna have some seniors that have done it before, and we're gonna have some younger guys, freshmen even, throwing some innings for us that are going to have to prove it. And then, you know, you got the senior heavy infield. So I think it's going to be a good mix for us. And, you know, it's just, can we do the little things consistently?
Very good. Wish you the best of luck this year.
Appreciate it.
It is my pleasure to be joined by Cade Romero, head softball coach at South Terrebonne, which is a little odd because it's a little bit of a transformation coming over from Central Lafourche, but obviously very versed in the scenery of softball in our area. Thanks for being here. Talk about it. How's February and January been leading up to softball?
Well, so we're kind of behind in a sense of where I've been in the past because I've had a lot of girls that are in different sports, and so am I. I went from football straight into soccer, and now I'm going straight into softball. And I didn't start at South Terrebonne until August 1st. So we had a couple little things that we went and hit and everything, but we're really starting right now. Our first technical full week was 2 weeks ago last week after our soccer playoff game. But it's fantastic. I've loved what I've seen so far. It's a great group of girls. We have a brand new field. So everything's just going together well.
So the success of soccer and a lot of girls who play soccer playing softball has to be pretty comforting. And you were around the soccer program, so you've seen it a little bit. So there's a little bit of a transition, but I do understand what you're saying because you were not there in the summer to see it all. I understand there's a handful of girls, though, that really can compete and play, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, we truly have probably our most dominant pitchers that are going to be probably our starters are both in basketball. So we won't get them till later on in the season. So we're pretty young, but we have some great girls. We have girls that are well versed in softball. They play travel ball. They're very consistent in their the things that they've done. And the reaction, or I guess you could say how they're taking in my coaching coming in, has been astonishing to me. Like, they are just ready to get up and roll.
Very good. Where are you guys playing at, out of curiosity?
Well, we're playing at school now. So that field is set up. Our field will be completely complete on next Friday.
So giving everybody here and everybody who might be watching a description, if I'm standing in front of South Terrebonne on Highway 24, I think it is.
Right.
Where is the softball field?
So if you're standing on the highway, if you look to the left, they have the gym. Across from the gym in the field is going to be our softball field.
Very good. So you people traditionally remember it being on the right side. It'll be on the left side.
Yes. It used to be in the front on the right side. Now it's in the back on the.
So this is the land that the school system bought going out that way. All right.
Yes.
Very good. Didn't realize that was going to be ready to go.
Oh, I didn't either.
Stress things. Where are y'all practicing at, real quick?
We're practicing at the field.
Okay.
The only thing that's not up yet is our backstop net, which we've found ways to get around it. But
the field's ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Stress, you think so far?
I think our strengths is going to be our senior leadership. We have a couple of girls for sure that are coming from soccer that I've already seen their leadership in soccer. And that's given me a lot of hope for what softball is going to look like. And they are going to play a very prominent role in what we do during softball season. So I feel like that's going to be probably our biggest strength.
Very good. Those things that you know have to get better quick that you
Yes, sir.
said. I know it's early on, but things you think have to get better quick.
I think for us to be successful, we have to be able to block out the outside noise. I know that's something different, but to me, like, I'm trying to establish this mindset in the girls of we should have our own expectations for ourselves, but no expectations from anybody else. Like, we know what the outside's going to think of us. We know, seeing off of past years, seeing the different coaching changes and everything, like what they're going to think of us. But we have to be able to block all of that out. Just play one game at a time, take one practice at a time, and, just learn to be more prominent in the way that we carry ourselves, and learn to keep on going, keep on rolling, let the punches come and get right back up and punch it again.
Very good, Kay. We wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you, sir.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda